What's going on, everybody? It's Jesse from Island Aesthetics here, and thank you for checking back in for another video. I'm a little under the weather today, so excuse my voice, but I've got some good stuff coming up in terms of how to wash your vehicle during the winter. Now, living in a cold climate that sees snow and salt and all the elements that come along with winter can be pretty tough on a vehicle, and they can be even harder to clean, given that we don't get those nice, sunny, warm days. It's not as easy to pull out buckets of water and do everything you would normally do to take care of your car. So if you're someone that hates the way cars look when they get covered in salt and all of the winter road grime, and you wish there was a way to still take care of your car and have it look just as good despite the weather or the season, then this video is going to be perfect for you. Now, I do have a detached garage. It's well lit, it's got heat, and all of those things make it much easier for me to take care of my car during the winter than a lot of other people. And so I fully understand that. However, my hose was left outside. It's been pretty cold the past couple of days. And even if it was thawed out, my pressure washer is broken. I actually just received a replacement part for what I think is the issue with the pressure washer. So I'm gonna be doing a separate video on that later. But more or less, I don't have access to water. I don't have all my typical equipment. And in fact, I'm not even gonna be washing my car at my garage today. And so I'm gonna show you one of the most simple and effective ways to keep your car clean during the winter and give you some tips and tricks that anybody could follow despite where they live or despite what they might have on hand. I'm gonna keep things really simple for you guys. You'll actually need a lot less for this winter wash than you would for a full detail or anything that most others do under better conditions. This is gonna be a rinseless wash video, and if you haven't tried rinseless washing before, the winter is a great time to try it out and get acquainted with it. I think you guys, if you're new to rinseless washing, are gonna be really surprised by the results and the simplicity and the effectiveness of the rinseless wash system as a whole. So I'm gonna quickly go over just a few simple things you need for this rinseless wash. We're gonna pull the car out and take it somewhere to get all of this nasty road grime rinsed off. And I'll review a few simple steps that you can follow that make it really, really easy to keep your car clean during the winter. As always, if you guys learn anything, if you get any value from the video, if you just enjoy detailing content like this, it means the world if you hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment letting me know what your thoughts are or if there's anything else you wanna see in the future. And I'm creating more and more content than I have in previous years. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell and you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. Now I'm tired of looking at this dirty car. Let's get this started. Okay, we're actually gonna be taking this on the road with us to a nearby car wash, which is a self-serve car wash. And again, I can't say this enough times, we're gonna keep things as simple as possible. This is just supposed to be a basic wash to get you through the winter and is not designed to be a full-blown detail. Couple of crucial things you're gonna need. First off is a bucket. This is a bucket from Adams. Any bucket that comes with a lid will do because we're gonna transport some warm water in this. You're gonna need some gloves. It's cold outside, so I've been doing this for a while now, and my go-to are a pair of latex gloves over a really thin pair of gloves. These are some running gloves that I got from Costco. They're not too thick, they're not too thin. They'll provide a little bit of warmth, and when the latex glove goes over it, it's gonna keep them totally waterproof. Another alternative for anybody who skis or snowboards, when you buy a pair of gloves or mittens, it usually comes with a separate liner type of glove, and those gloves are really good as well. They're thin, they'll provide some warmth, and the latex gloves will be able to slip over them and keep them waterproof. Next up, you're gonna need a few towels. So I recommend some nice plush microfiber towels. These are Eagle 500s, I believe. And separate towels that you're gonna use to wash the wheels. So you're gonna have a really plush microfiber towel to wash the paint and the glass, and you're gonna have whatever towel you like, but I would recommend something that you might not care if you had to throw it away at the end for the wheels and the fender wells and the door jambs in any areas that might be like really nasty. Third towel you're gonna need is a drying towel. And lastly, I'm only gonna be using 2 detailing chemicals, right? The first product is Optimum No Rinse. Any rinseless wash will do. If you like Ammo Frothy or if you like P&S Absolute or the McKee stuff, it really doesn't matter. Pick a rinseless wash that you like. And some protection. Keeping it really simple today, I'm using the Boost by Glassparency, which is a ceramic maintenance spray. It'll give you, a couple of weeks worth of protection if you're using it as standalone, especially in the winter where things get kind of nasty. But we do want to just boost some of the protection at the end, and that's what I'll be using to do it. First things first, we're gonna fill the bucket up with some warm water. And a big disclaimer here, do not boil your water. For an obvious reason, you don't wanna put your hands into boiling water. You'll burn yourself, all right? If you burn yourself, I'm not responsible. I told you to simply make the water warm and do not boil it, all right? I've got a couple of pots on the stove here. They're just gently heating up the water. The second reason you don't wanna use boiling water is the microfiber towels, they're sensitive to heat. And above a certain temperature, it can actually damage the fibers and ruin your towel. So again, just a couple of pots of warm but not boiling water. We're gonna put that in the bucket, tighten up the lid, and we're gonna head over to the self-serve car wash. And also, in terms of how much water do you need, you don't need a full bucket, all right? If you're just washing one car, filling it up about halfway is good enough. We really just want enough water in the bucket to submerge our towels and add the solution. The rinseless wash solution, if you're doing this for the first time, is ½ an ounce for every gallon of water. So I recommend 2 to 3 gallons. Most detailing buckets are 5-gallon buckets. So again, you don't need to fill it up all the way. And check your water before you go. If it is too hot, if you let one of the pots get away from you a little bit, just add a little bit of extra water from your sink or your tap or whatever you have on hand to kind of offset the high temperature. But again, I can't stress this enough, guys. Don't boil your water, don't let it get too hot, and don't run the risk of burning yourself on accident by doing so. Now, as I screw the lid onto this bucket, make sure it's nice and tight. You don't want the water spilling in the car. But here's a helpful tip for anybody that has an Adams bucket or a bucket that has a similar type of decal on it. If you fill the bucket up to the top of the logo on the bucket, this is exactly 3 gallons. So I've filled this bucket up and I measured out 1 gallon at a time. Rarely do you need 4 gallons, which would actually be this line right here, and 5 gallons would fill the bucket completely. But right to the top of the logo, that's gonna give us 3 gallons of water. The reason I like to use exactly 3 gallons is when you're diluting something at ½ an ounce to a gallon. I know that this is 3 capfuls or 3 ½ ounces. So the first thing I'll do is drop that in there. And the other reason is it still gives me some headroom in the bucket to put the towels in there. I like to get the towels mixed in there before I leave, so I have a chance to swirl the solution around and get it evenly distributed, and also have the towels start to soak up some of that moisture and the rinseless wash solution themselves. Also, I didn't mention this in the beginning. I wouldn't say it's crucial, but it's definitely a nice addition, and that's an IK sprayer. If you have this or any other type of pump sprayer, this is great to bring with you, right? Before you hit the road, just fill it up with a little bit of that rinseless solution that you put into the bucket, and we'll use this as a pre-spray in the car wash stall at the self-serve place. So now I'm here at the Bayport self-serve car wash. I'm gloving up. It's a little cold outside. It's just under 40 degrees. So I did put a jacket over my hoodie, put a beanie on, common sense warning, dress warm when you're doing this stuff. Also, if you can get some pants that are water repellent or waterproof, that's definitely a big help. It keeps you warm, it keeps you dry, and I really like the, as I've gotten a little bit older, I've started to grow an affinity for Costco and their clothing section. So these fleece lined pants I'm wearing from Costco are like 20 bucks. They're warm, they keep me dry, and they're great to work in. So I'm dressed, I'm gloved up, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna unpack the stuff from the trunk, and at the same time, I'm also gonna take out my rubber floor mats. So if you have rubber floor mats or WeatherTechs in your car, take those out as well. At the self-serve car wash, there is a ton of background noise from other people pressure washing their cars and using the air blowers, so I'm going to voice over from here. At the pay station, the first thing we want to do is make sure that this dial is turned to the off position so we don't have water start shooting the second we charge our card. We also don't want to use that brush on the paint for any reason whatsoever. We're only using it to spray the water. Finally, when we do start, we're going to turn the dial to the high pressure rinse. This is a setting for strictly water and doesn't put any soap or harsh chemicals on the car. From here, we can begin to rinse the car. Make sure to go over each section thoroughly to remove as much dirt and debris as possible. This will make the hand wash easier, reduce scratching, and prevent the towels from getting gunked up with nasty debris that can clog your washing machine. Do the same for your wheels and tires and your floor mats, and then return the brush or gun to its base and stop your payment. Next, grab your IK sprayer and soak the entire vehicle in your rinseless wash so it starts to break down any remaining contaminants. And then let your camera battery die and come to the realization that you left your spares at home. Yeah, so that really happened. Rookie move, left the house without my spare batteries. So I finished up the WRX and took it home, but we're actually gonna pop back over to the self-serve car wash with my Forester, which was also dirty, and pick up right where we left off. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the IK sprayer isn't necessary, but it's definitely a huge help. You simply fill it up with the same solution that you created in the bucket. And by pre-soaking the vehicle, it'll start to separate any contaminants from the surface, encapsulate them in tiny bubbles that make it easier to carry it away from the paint, while also emulsifying that debris and breaking it down into smaller and smaller pieces that are more easily removed by your wash towel and are less likely to scratch and swirl the paint, resulting in a much safer wash process. For the wash process, gently wring out a towel from your wash bucket and wipe each panel with long straight motions from top to bottom with gentle pressure. Pro tip, keep your windshield wipers in the best condition possible by gently pinching them between your two fingers and wiping the dirt off from one side to the other. This is going to keep the windshield wipers in a much better condition for a longer period of time and make them more effective at keeping your windshield clear when you need them most. Now, I don't want to wipe that dirt on other parts of the car because that's how we induce scratching. So every time your towel fills up with dirt and debris, give it a flip or rotate to a new side. For this car, I used 2 towels. You might want to use more when you're first starting out, but the more feel you get for this wash process, the more you realize you don't need too many towels. Cleaning these door jambs is super important. A lot of salt and dirt and debris builds up in there. This is one of the most common spots for rust to form, so doing this regularly during your washes is a great way to keep your car in the best condition possible. For the wheels, simply grab one of the remaining towels, wring it out, and wipe as much of the surface of the wheel as you can get to with your hand. This isn't going to be as deep of a cleaning as if we were using some type of sudsy wheel cleaner and we had a bunch of tools and brushes, but it's definitely enough to get the job done and at least keep the wheels in a respectable condition during the winter months. And finally, it's time to dry the vehicle and add some protection. I have Glass Parency's Boost Multi-Use Sealant. This is a great ceramic coating topper and can also be used as standalone protection if you don't have anything on the surface. Today I'm going to be using it as a drying aid. This means it's going to add lubrication and make the drying process easier while also providing protection in one simple step. After giving the bottle a thorough shake, I apply 1 spray to the panel and 1 spray to my drying towel. I place the towel exactly where I sprayed the product, and then I work it in side to side and up and down, making sure I get good coverage. I flip the towel to a dry side to buff it to a beautiful shine and remove any residual product that might have been left behind. Now, Boost and most products like it, whether they're spray waxes or spray sealants or coating toppers, generally they tend to be pretty versatile. So you can spray them on painted surfaces, glass, wheels, and trim. Just like with your wash towels, when one side looks like it's been used quite a bit, it's time to flip it to a new side. And one of the nice things about winter, generally any other time that it's colder, since it's not super hot and since I'm not in the sunlight, I can actually save myself some time by applying a fine mist all over the vehicle. Still follow a roughly 1 to 2 sprays per section. But now I don't have to keep picking up the bottle, picking up the towel. And this will make the drying process a lot quicker and easier. Now that the entire car is covered, just continue with your drying process.
People in a show, all lined in a row. We just push on by. It's funny how hard we try.
And of course, no wash or detail is ever complete without an obligatory photo shoot. Now, if you guys are out there trying this for the first time, take a picture of your car or video and tag me on Instagram and let me know what you think and where you're detailing.
From time to time, don't let the system get you down. Mix it to life, me try to get my passion eyes up no matter what. Me try mix it to life, feel my heart out my base. And right now Babylon they on me case. Mix it to life, try to get my passion eyes up no matter what. Me try mix it to life, my heart out my base. And right now Babylon they on me case.
Now I'm back in the garage with the car we started off with, my WRX. I got this thing cleaned up yesterday after my camera battery died, using the same exact products and steps that I just outlined on my Forester. You could go deeper into this, clean your glass, throw some tire shine on, but like I said in the beginning, the whole point of this video was to give you guys something simple to digest, a really easy way just to get your car cleaned up a bit in the winter, because there's no reason for it to stay filthy. And sure, if you have snow in the forecast tomorrow or the next day, I could see why it's not the best idea to wash your car, right? But if the forecast is clear for a few days, there's no sense in keeping your car dirty throughout the winter just because it's gonna get dirty at some point again. Personally, I think it's a terrible argument. You're intentionally letting your car get into a worse condition. You're leaving yourself way more work for the future and just unnecessarily risking problems that you don't need to. I'm just happy to have clean cars at this point, and I hope you guys do too. If you learned anything from this video and this is something that you're gonna go out and try, leave me a comment below and let me know how it goes for you. Plus, take a picture of your car in the wash bay and tag Island Aesthetics. Let me know where you're washing your car at, because I'd love to know who else is out there braving the elements and the cold to keep their cars in the best shape possible. That's gonna wrap it up for this one, guys. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to check this out. I'm Jesse from Island Aesthetics, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Don't let the system get you down. Mix it to life, me try to get by. Pressure ease up no matter what. Me try mix it to life, feel my heart up no base. And right now Babylon they on the case.